How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is my regular Thursday blog where I give you the information about everything that's going on all over the world. You notice that since you're watching me, you don't have to read a paper, because if you do, you'll get a distorted version of everything. You don't have to go anywhere. You could just sit in your house. Forget television. I tell you the right angle on everything that's happening. They just give you information, and they don't know about what. They don't interpret it for you, and when they do, it's always on wrong-headed kind. That's always distorted. It's always one side. The news is never balanced. They call it balanced. The only thing that's balanced is me. I tell the truth, and I have no hate for anybody. People say, oh my God, he's a Republican. I'm a Republican when the Republicans are right. It so happens lately they're more right than the Democrats. When they're wrong, I'll tell you about it. I hate partisanship. You can't run a company on partisanship. How do you run a business? By trying to find out what's the right thing to do. If it comes out liberal or Democrat or Republican or conservative is not what interests you. What interests you is what's the right thing to do. Like right now, the situation in Israel. Now, it so happens that the situation in Israel is befuddling everybody, because they're all saying all over Europe how Israel is at fault, that we don't want to make peace with the Hamas. And the United Nations keep condemning Israel every day, no matter when there's violence there or anybody gets hurt or anybody gets killed. It's always Israel's fault. We're doing nothing but pleading for peace. They're killing people with suicide bombers every day in Israel, and it's our fault. It's as if Hitler wouldn't have bothered anybody if not for the Jews. It's their fault. If a killer goes out of his way to shoot into your building, is it your fault? Why don't you find out what you're doing that's causing it? What is Israel doing? They offered them all their land back 20 different times at 50 different conferences. They offered them all their very thing they wanted back, even though they didn't deserve it, because it's Israel's land. They said, here, to make peace, you have it back. And what did they do? The Hamas went out, started killing Jews everywhere. And to this day, they're looking for every excuse to lob in all kinds of bombs and all kinds of missiles and all kinds of suicide bombers, and we have to stop and catch everything every single day, because they're hiding on the buses and trains and homes and cars, and every single day Israel's preoccupied with stopping them. We're not sending one suicide bomber to them. Even in retaliation, we never killed them with suicide bombers. Why? Because we just go after the murderers. We're not killing innocent people, and we never did. And the Hamas is just a miserable, murderous organization that's determined to destroy Israel. They say it and they mean it. How can man? Nobody could understand it. The United Nations hears this from the Hamas every day. We're here to destroy Israel, and that's our mission. And the United Nations keeps saying, no, it's Israel's fault. Did we ever say we'll destroy them? The truth is they don't want to hear it, because it's a pervasive anti-Semitism from all those countries in the world who just want to destroy the Jews and the Jewish country and the Jewish people. And it's that kind of anti-Semitism. It's gone on for generations, and it's worse than ever now, because they're vicious, violent Jew haters. That's all they know. The Hamas hasn't got a chance of beating the Jews, because it's impossible. We have the toughest army in the world. People don't know how tough the Israelis are, because they never saw a tough Jew in this country. You ever see a tough Jew in America? I never did. You ever see 4 black people walking in the street and say, watch out, there's a Jew over there? I never heard that. You ever see an Italian afraid to walk into a Jewish neighborhood because he might get killed by an accountant? I never heard that either. But in Israel, the Jews are tough. That's why the Hamas is wasting their time trying to beat us. They're aiming for their own destruction. The Israeli Jews are the toughest people in the world. I saw those Jews. I was in Israel. I saw them. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were Puerto Ricans. Are they tough? Why do you think we won the first war where a Jewish general couldn't even see what he was doing? A lot of people don't know that the first Jewish general in these wars with the Arabs was a general with a patch. His name was Moshe Dayan. He spent the whole war with a patch walking around. Where the hell is the war? What happened to the war? You know, it was a lucky thing that the Arabs came from this side. They came from that side. Ooh, we would have had a big problem. A lot of people don't know this, how tough we are. We even have the hydrogen bomb. We've had it for 20 years. We never used it. Israel never used it. You know why? Because it cost $187 billion. Now you think we're going to throw this away on an Arab? Not that fast. We told them, you want to see it? Come over. We'll show it to you. It's $1.25 an hour. Take a look at it. In that war with Egypt, we could have even had the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal, a lot of people don't know it. We could have had it. We didn't want it. You know why? There's no boardwalk. What the hell are we going to do there? I'll tell you another thing. Right now, they want us to give us the whole West Bank back to the Palestinians. They keep insisting we should give it back. We've tried to give it back. We almost gave it back, and even now we'd like to give it back. Right now, we can't, because the Prime Minister can't give it away. You hear about Prime Minister Omer? He would love to give it back. He can't. We found out it's in his wife's name. All these were jokes, don't take it personally, but they all prove one point, that the Hamas are a mob of murderers, and the Jews are people of compassion. We want to give them their land, they want to give us death and destruction. That's all they want to give us. All these attempts at conferences, we're talking to the wall. You're talking to a man with a gun who wants to look for an opportunity to shoot you. While you're talking, he'd love to kill you. The only reason he doesn't is because he doesn't know where you are. If he could find you, he'll kill you. Stop talking, you're talking to yourself. Forget about it. Wipe them out. That's the only way. Otherwise, there'll never be victory, there'll never be peace, and there'll never even be peace for the Palestinians. God bless innocent Palestinians. They deserve a good life too, just like the Jews do.